Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and thanks for stopping by and checking out my videos. Today's video is a little bit different than what I've posted in the past. It's going to be a walk around video of the final product after I installed some parts on a 2021 CanAm Defender HD10 Limited. I didn't really have time to record each thing that I installed, so I just decided to wait until everything was done and do a complete walk around so you guys can see the finished product. I think it came out really well, and I know we're gonna do some more upgrades to this thing. The guy's out hunting with it right now, so I'm sure when it comes back, we're gonna do some more upgrades to it. But for right now, check it out. If you have questions about any of the products that I put on there or want more details about some of the modifications that I did, leave a comment below and I'll try to answer it as best I can. All right, without further ado, check it out.
All right, we'll start with doing a little walk around of the machine and I'll tell you kind of what we did on the exterior. First thing is got rid of the 27-inch tires and did some 32-inch BF Goodwrench KM3s. Also added some fender flares on the outside. Those are through CanAm. Did a little modifying on those in a couple areas and I'll show you a little more detail here in just a minute. Replaced the headlights with LED headlights. Got rid of the stock sway bar in the front. Also added the Super ATV 2-inch forward A-arms. Now here's where we did some modifying on this front fender. So you can see the stock one, comes around like this. Just kind of took that edge off right there where it has this vertical piece that kind of comes down. Originally, before we put the A-arms on, the 32-inch tires did rub a little bit inside of the fender well there. So just be aware of that. If you're going to put some 32s on there, you will get a little rubbing just on the inside there. And that was mainly at almost full steering lock. Same thing on the back here on this fender. The fender kit does come with another piece that goes right here, but we opted not to put that on and then just did a little modifying on this fender here. Again, cut that vertical edge, that vertical line out of it. On the back here, this is that link system. This is the tool holder. You can see they just kind of lock into the bed. Same thing on the back here. This is a CanAm toolbox. It does anchor down into the bed with some brackets. You have to take the old brackets or old tie downs out of the front part of the bed. So those tie downs like that right there, you have to take those out on the front, replace them with some new brackets, and then the toolbox bolts to those new brackets. Okay, so on the door here, what I did to kind of open this up a little bit more, you can kind of see how far that door opens up. I would probably say before the modification, it probably only opened about that far. So you can see how much farther it opens up. Did this for a reason, and basically what it is to allow you to get in and out of the machine a little more square with the machine, like that, rather than having to kind of get off the seat and then come forward because the door, is stopping you like that. And what I did is I took some square stock and then just found the spot where I needed to weld it to the door hinge. We did that on both sides of the front doors. And then on the back doors, I left the cables in here and I just moved the cable. Originally the cable was in here and just unscrewed it from there and put it into here. And again, you can see how much more that door opens up. I mean, that's at least 90, maybe even a little bit more. I did notice one thing when we got done doing that. If the door continues to open, you can see that it will touch the bed there. Again, this is where the door normally will stop. If it happened to catch some wind or be forced open a little bit more, you could see that it potentially could rub a spot there on the bed. All right, so while we're in the back here, we added some more cargo area here, or storage area, excuse me. Added the CanAm storage boxes. The middle one here is actually a cooler. It's got a storage box and then a soft cooler that holds 12 pack. So you can put some ice in there, or even those cold packs, and keep something cool there, easily accessible. Another thing I did here in the back, this is a gun rack that's actually supposed to go into a Jeep, but we had it left over. Decided to go ahead and put it in here. Did a little modifying with the base plate, same thing up on the top here. Used a U-bolt and some heat shrink on there to protect the grab bar, and just bolted that up, and then used some nylon caps to protect those threads. Another thing I did here in the back is I cut this panel. This plastic panel used to come all the way down here, hide all of this, right? And went ahead and cut that out. So now the passengers kind of have a little footrest if they like. If, you know, they're going downhill, sometimes I know that I like to have something my feet are resting on, you know, and at the same time you could be grabbing the grab handle. Another thing I did here in the back is I added another dome light. That's the stock dome light from, you know, it comes in the machine. I just ordered the same part and took the whole headliner apart. This piece comes off, this piece comes off, that piece, piggybacked on the wires right there, ran everything back here. And then there are 2 bolts that are actually already in the headliner that are holding it up. Those bolts can come out, and the new bolts that hold the light go into the same spot. So you don't have to re-drill any new holes for the hardware. The only other thing I had to do was drill a hole into the headliner just inside that light for the wire to go through. Another thing that was done on this machine, since we're standing here, I'll go ahead and talk about it, is I added some sound deadening material. You can kind of see it right here. That was added all through the back here, through these panels. There was also in the engine compartment some sound deadening and heat resistant matting that was added. Also added the sound deadening material all down through here. Eventually we'll add it into the roof, but it makes a world of difference. So inside the cab, you know, if you're hearing the sounds of the engine and, you know, you can't talk to somebody in there very quietly, then I would recommend adding some of that sound deadening material. I picked up that sound deadening material from a local car audio installer for about $20 for a sheet, and the sheet covers 2 square feet. Last thing in here that I think I did was add the center seat gun rack. If you've watched any videos on the CanAm Defenders, this is definitely a modification that everyone is doing. You can buy this setup already ready to go and ready to install. I think it's around $140 or $150. Or what I opted to do was just buy the gun holders themselves. I think those were around $40 or $50, and then just took a piece of sheet metal, used the base of the gun holder as a template, drilled all the holes, and then just ran some T40 self-tapping screws into the seat frame. There are already holes in the seat frame there. They just need to be threaded. So those match up just fine. You can put your gun down in there. You ratchet the system like that, tight against the gun, and then you can push that button and it releases it. So I think that's about all that I did to this machine. I actually added a synthetic rope, got rid of the steel cable on the winch as well, I guess. And that's about it. I think it came out really well. I do like this machine. Rides really smooth, and again with that sound deadening material on the inside, super quiet on the inside of the cab. You can definitely carry on a conversation pretty easily. You don't feel like you're, you know, trying to talk over the sound of the engine or any type of road noise or anything like that. All right, guys, appreciate you watching my videos. Like and subscribe, and I'll get some more content out hopefully soon. Thanks.